Before I begin this video, you see that right there? That's my friend Carlos. He works for MRR Wheels in California. Absolutely great guy, great company, but he makes a bold statement in our C8 Corvette group. By the way, if you're not part of that group, there's a link in the description. More than welcome to join in. Whoever puts on Lambo door kits on their new C8 gets a beat down by all the members. There, I said it. You can see my response. I'm going to come get me. So we have a little challenge here. You think Carlos is going to come get us if I put Lambo doors on my C8? So here's my challenge to you. If you don't already subscribe to this channel and you hit that subscribe button and this channel gets to 300,000 subscribers before I get my C8, I will put Lambo doors on my car day one. Tell a friend, hit that subscribe button, and let's have a little fun.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm really excited because if you look over here, I know it's tough to see in there, but inside that third garage door right there is that 2019 ZR1 with 200 miles on it. That car has been on this channel for about 90 days, and to kind of give you an idea of 90 days, my wife and I went on our 20th wedding anniversary. We were gone for 15 days on that vacation, and it didn't sell. It was here before we went on that vacation. It's now here, and here we are on August 12th, September 12th, here we are, and that car is still here. Well, I'm proud to say that it is leaving. It has found a new home, and there's a story behind this car. I've actually sold this car 5 times since May, 5 times. And we're gonna talk about it in this video. But before we start talking about that, I gotta get this thing cleaned up, finished up, ready to go, because it's going on a transport to Louisiana. Can you believe this is actually going south of New Orleans, which I've been to New Orleans a couple of times, love New Orleans. And I didn't realize that when you go to New Orleans, there's part of Louisiana to the west, right? So you actually go south there. So that's where this is going. And the gentleman who bought it is not a YouTube subscriber. Didn't know who I was before he bought this. He does now. And this car is replacing his wrecked Z06. All right, there it is. The shipper is here. I'm excited to get this thing gone because it's kind of been a nightmare. I'm gonna tell you the story here. 5 car sales. I remembered a 6th. And then I just did something totally stupid with this car. But we gotta get a cold start on this vehicle and let it go off the showroom floor, and then I'm gonna tell you that story. All right, go ahead. My C7 needs to sound like that. We're gonna get that thing sounding like that really, really soon. All right, there it goes. Nice home in Louisiana. That car may be back here though one day. Customer's probably gonna trade that in because he wants a C8 Z06. We'll stay tuned to see if that car comes back to this dealership from Louisiana. All right, there it goes, up on the trailer. So we sold this car 6 separate times. One of the times, one of my colleagues here sold it, and it was somebody really who we feel just was pretending to want to buy a car. They kept saying, hey, we'll buy it, consider it sold. They worked the deal, and they had no money. They said they were getting cash out of the bank, going to get a certified check, and just never showed back up. The second time that we sold it was actually to a gentleman who contacted the dealership while I was on vacation, wasn't followed up with correctly, contacted me again while I was back from vacation, said he was going to buy it. He was going to come in from Virginia. I think he's a subscriber to the channel, or at least knows who I am, follows me. And I'm driving home on a 3-way call with his banker, and simply tell him I need a partial payment, a deposit on the vehicle, so that way none of my other 70 sales guys here can sell the car. And it was simply put that exact way. Nothing pressure, nothing crazy. And he says, excuse me. I said, yeah, I just need a deposit, so that way, I can mark it sold and yada, yada, yada. And he flips out on me, absolutely goes nuts on the phone with his banker, says, hey, I won't be pressured, blah, 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 blah. And told his banker, hey, don't worry about it. I'm not buying this car anymore. And just hangs up the phone, never to contact me again. Text him a couple times, called him a couple times. I don't know what that was all about. Another time that this car was sold,
was to somebody I had some conversation with a few years ago. Disrespected one of my sales guys here, disrespected me, and I put him in his place. I will not be disrespected, especially on the showroom floor. And I put this guy in his place. And this guy was driving a Tesla Model X wrapped in his company's name. And this guy's a multi-millionaire, but he just disrespected us. And I don't care who you are. I don't care your net worth, your value. You get treated accordingly how you treat me and others here. So I kind of put him in his place, and you know, and I think we got kind of going fine after the fact, and egos kind of slowed down and you know whatnot. Never talked to this guy again. Comes up in this McLaren 720S, and everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, that's cool. It's a 720S, and he's talking about trucks and Camaros and blah, blah, blah. And he walks in, and this is after we powder coat the wheels black on this car. And he looks at this ZR1. He says, wow, I've got to have this car. So I'm like, hey, we can make it happen. I told him about the powder coating of the wheels. He said, yeah, I would have never bought this car if it had chrome wheels. So I said, okay, sweet. We did the right decision there. Got everything done. He's going to title it in his LLC in Montana so he doesn't have to pay sales tax. And sweet, not a problem. He says, let me think about it just real quick to make sure I do want another black car. And he's on his private plane, and he literally picture mails me, text messages me his American Express black card. Put $5 grand on it and hold it. He jacks me around for 2 weeks and just never comes through. I just kind of got pissed off with him and refunded his money and told him that, you know, don't want to do business with him anymore. And I really think that was kind of maybe retaliation from a couple years prior, that he was just gonna like, you know what, I got you know, F you money, and I'm just gonna screw with this sales guy for 2 weeks, and that's what he did. That's fine. You know, I should have kept his money, but it wasn't worth even messing with it. And then the last time that you saw that earlier in the video that the car was actually leaving the dealership, getting on the transport and headed to the south was for Trent, new customer of mine, doesn't follow me on YouTube, didn't know who I was, introduced myself, told him that I'd hook him up on this car, and everything went really, really smooth. And so we got transport going, all that good stuff. It's here. I showed you at the beginning of the video that it was right here in the third garage door right there and getting ready to go, and I didn't have to do anything. And it was all good to go. I think the night before I sat there and filled it up with gas for him, parked it right there, and was ready to go for transport right at 9 a.m. the next morning. So I get here a little bit early, make sure it's wiped down, make sure it's clean, everything's good to go. And what I did not do was, you remember this Lexus, if you didn't see this Lexus in yesterday's or last week's video, check this out. I'll put a little icon in the top right-hand corner. So we have this sticker here and this sticker here on the vehicle. The red sticker comes usually on the outside of the vehicle in this area. The white sticker is placed on the inside of the vehicle in this area. So it's kind of like the window stickers, right? So the white sticker is in that same spot as that window sticker, affixed all the way on like that. So that was the only thing I really had to do to the car, is get those two stickers off. The orange one comes off really easy. It's not that big of a deal. The white one, just like that window sticker I was showing you, affixes to the whole window, and you have to clean it off. Well, you can see the result, and which is the thumbnail of this video. We are not putting it on this $100,000 car in a nutshell. On this window, we just placed it in the dash. So a very common practice for dealership is we use razor blades. I got a couple different razor blades. You can see that one there, that one there. This is the one that I got. I don't know why I got this one. I usually don't use it much, but actually I tell you, I know exactly why I got this one, because this has got this long handle, and with the Corvette window sloping down so low that I can sit here like this and scoop down on that residue that's left over. It's a very common practice to do that, and you know, never had an issue, never done anything stupid. Almost 20 years of selling cars, I've never done anything stupid with a razor blade. So we got to go off of my reputation of handling razor blades, okay? So I'm done doing that, and I'm standing kind of like this or something to that effect. Obviously my hand down a little bit lower, but I have it up high to kind of show you. And somebody said something to me, and I do this, and I turn, and this goes bloop, right into the dash. It didn't hit me right away that it went into the dash. It was a second later, I sit there and think, what did I just do? What did I just feel through my left hand? And I look and I see this. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I probably said some explicit language in my head because there was customers around and this transport driver was here. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so I called my buddy Sean. He owns Auto Fixation here in Louisville. Oh, just dropped that razor blade. Yeah, let's go back to my history and I'm handling razor blades. So I call him, he comes over, looks at it, he can fix it with no problem. He does this stuff every day, it's his profession, and he does it awesome. But I've got to tell the customer, I can't sit here and fix this dash and not tell a customer. So I text the customer, show him all the pictures after it's all done and fixed. And he's like, hey, as long as you can't see it, I'm happy with it. As long as it stays fixed, I'm happy with it. I don't care. And I would be the same way. I'm very, very picky on things, but luckily I'm inside the business and I know what's going on. Once it got done, my wife happened to come into the dealership and I said, hey, will you look at this dash and do you see any repairs? And she couldn't see it. So she didn't know where it was at. She couldn't find it, nothing. And so here's the picture of it fixed. Now, you're gonna say, well, hey, I can see that because you know where the cut's at. And it happened to cut just in a little itty bitty dimple. And if you look around the dash, there's actually dimples, like pressures, like maybe where somebody's put their thumb or anything like that, hand to wipe the window down or whatever the case may be. So having some imperfections, waves in that dash is very common. So the customer gets the car the next day and he has 5 separate people look at it. He's reporting back to me. I asked him right away, hey, any problems with the dash? What do you think about it? He says, yeah, I can't tell where it was at. He has 5 separate people look at it and nobody can pick it out. So thank goodness for Sean at Auto Fixation here in Louisville. He just saved my butt on a $140,000 car. And just as I showed you earlier with this Lexus LC 500, we are not putting that sticker on the window because we do not want to have that issue again. So there's the story of my time with that 2019 ZR1. Now this car was replacing a wrecked Z06. You see that here on the screen as well for the customer. So I'm super excited that we were able to replace this car for him. And he's happy. I've talked to him since and he'll buy from us again. So we're good to go on that. And I just thought that it would be cool to tell you the story about the ZR1 and the time that we had it here and the interactions we had with people on this and the unfortunate side of me putting a razor blade through a $140,000 car. I'll tell you, my gut just sunk when that happened. So hope you enjoyed the story. As always, thank you again so much for watching. We need to get to 300,000 subscribers. If we can do that before my C8 comes, when my C8 gets here, I will put Lambo doors on my C8 and maybe be the first person in the world to put Lambo doors on his C8. Yes, I will do that because my friend Carlos at MRR Wheels said he was going to beat up anybody who said that or who did that. So I love Carlos. I love MRR Wheels. So we'll have a little fun with them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day and drive safely.